Current restrictions caused by coronavirus have had an enormous impact on the lives of us all. The regular and consistent nature of our lives has been altered, and we are no longer able to complete many of the everyday activities our life had seen prior. This has caused a variety of harmful effects on the well being of many people. Today, I'll present a COVID 19 survival guide that aims to help anyone that is struggling now and any time in the future. The first area that I would like to address is physical health. The restrictions impacted a broad number of physical activities, such as gyms and sports that people use to stay fit. During the pandemic, to cope with this loss, I made sure to get at least some form of exercise throughout the day. Over the course of the first few months, I turned this exercise into somewhat of a routine. Most days, I would wake up, go for a long walk, and then play a fair amount of basketball with my brother. I also made sure to fit in a bike ride whenever it was possible. This level of activity did serve effectively during the initial lockdown period. Overall, I would assess these efforts as being productive, healthy, and appropriate. There is only so much you can do with what we were given during the pandemic, and I feel I did my best. I do believe that my choices are not for everybody, and there are a variety of effective ways people can get proper exercise. I will list a few recommendations that I feel are the most effective and why. These include walks, workout routines, runs, and almost anything that allows you to feel safe and comfortable while being physically active. These are effective because they allow you to stay active using little to no mandatory equipment. This is another important area of our wellness to address. The pandemic has caused poor mental well-being to be at record level highs throughout. Due to the importance of this issue, it is essential to discuss ways to improve your mental health and various solutions to the problems many of us are facing. Personally, I tried to stay connected to those around me in an effort to make myself feel better about what was going on in the world around me. Doing this allowed me to connect with others such as my family and friends who were facing similar problems as me. Overall, this ended up making me feel a lot better as I knew I was supported and had people to talk to even during a time where communication is so difficult. I believe my experience lends itself well to the recommendations I will make to others on this topic. I would recommend that everyone finds a few significant people they feel comfortable to talk to. If this is not possible, I would also recommend looking into the various hotlines set up for people to discuss mental health and what is going on in their lives. A few of these resources include Kids Help Phone, Good to Talk, and 211 Ontario. Aspect of life was one of the areas where I found change to be the most apparent. Times were not like they used to be, and it was becoming more and more difficult to communicate with my friends in a safe manner. Initially, I found this to be very difficult, but through different methods, I found ways to stay connected while keeping a social distance. The first of these ways that I found to be very effective was playing video games with my friends. It turned out to be a very effective source of communication, and it was all done through fun and entertaining ways. There were a fair amount of people that didn't have the required devices we needed to play, so I found methods like FaceTime and text messaging to be very solid. I would recommend people to look into the ways I managed to socialize during the pandemic, but I know people have different tastes, so I would recommend activities like socially distanced walks and any other medium that allows you to connect with your peers in a safe way. Emotional well-being was an aspect of wellness that I was not as familiar with at the start of the pandemic, but through the various assignments handed out in gym class, I was able to grasp the idea. Using this knowledge, I was able to understand that my emotions were normal, and it was okay to feel a little sad or upset about what was going on around me. One method I used throughout the pandemic was reflection over my emotions. Through reflection, I was able to relax and take a step back to look over what I was feeling. Doing this allowed me to understand that I was not the only one experiencing these emotions, which made me feel a lot better about myself. I believe that this is very effective as a practice, and I would recommend it to anyone who feels like they are in the same position as I was during the pandemic. Other recommendations I would include are to get proper sleep, allowing you to go into each day feeling the best you can, taking relaxing breaks to relieve stress that could be causing emotional distress, and to find a group of people that you feel comfortable with that allow you to discuss your emotions with.